Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope everyone is safe around you. And welcome back to season 4, episode 8 of Stories of Opportunity with your one and only host and coach, Aditya Sisodia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon which time zone you are joining us or you are listening us from. Stories of Opportunity is a curated content where we invite change makers and we invite people who have established themselves through their sheer passion, hard work, and a purpose driven life. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are currently streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I would invite you to put it into the chat from where you are joining us. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Aditya Sisodia. I'm a professional coach. I support leader and committed professional with their business and life transformation through thought-provoking conversation. I'm also a corporate trainer, marathoner, consultant, and a psychologist. This episode and this series is a tribute to the people with whom we inspire by sharing our life changing thoughts. Our guest for the day is Ojas Rajani. She is a celebrity makeup artist with over 30 plus years of experience. Today, Ojas would be sharing with us her journey of transformation, her journey, how she has been able to create a niche in this place. Whatever questions you have, you can ask us. And we are waiting for Ojas to join us. In the next few minutes, we would be inviting Ojas Rajani to share with us. Whatever questions you have, you can put it in the chat and then let's see how is it. So with this, let's roll the intro. I would like to welcome the people who have joined us live in the chat as of now, and we would be displaying their names. So, welcome Shavik. Shavik is joining us live from LinkedIn. Thank you, Shavik, for this session. Good evening, Mr. Shantanu. Good evening, Ashish, for joining us live from YouTube. We are just waiting for Ojas to join us. In the meanwhile, I would request all of you just to share with us what is your expectation. So Ojas is with us in the studio. And over the other side, in the next 30 seconds, Ojas and I would be joining and sharing our story. Hi, Ojas. How are you?
Hi, sir. How are you, Aditya? Good to see you.
It's a pleasure to host you, and it's a delight always to learn and hear from you, Ojas.
Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you. My pleasure, truly. My pleasure, truly.
Thank you, Ojas. And we have got so many people who have joined us from LinkedIn and Facebook, and I'll again give them a big shout out. So, Rajesh, welcome from LinkedIn. Hi, Vatsal, joining us from YouTube. That's really amazing. Good evening, Mr. Shantanu. Hi, Ashish. Uh, hi, Shavik. So, Ojas, I was just sharing a bit about you, that what can people learn from our today's conversation. So, Ojas, I would request that we would be showing some question on the screen, and
Sure.
we have curated some question and few our audience would be sharing,
Okay.
because your journey is really inspirational. Like
Okay.
over the last 3 decades, you have created a niche for yourself, and you are one of the Indian pioneer who started with the celebrity makeup artist.
Thanks to my
And
parents, thanks to their blessings. And today's Father's Day, so what better way than to celebrate this? So I'm very grateful to you. Thank you.
you have also come in a Bollywood movie, I by Shankar,
Right.
and also in a documentary, 2013 Netflix and Prime documentary Beyond Bollywood. And we have got Dhara Goenka also, who is sending you hugs and kisses
Dara,
from
love you, my
YouTube.
God, for being here. Dara's always been very sweet. She's always been very encouraging to every clique member, which is fantastic.
Thank you, Ojas. Thank you. So, Ojas, my first question to you is, why did you choose our today's topic, which is rediscover your inner beauty for our viewers?
I think, first of all, I would love to say that, during these trying and testing times of COVID and everything, I think it's always been a big eye opener for everybody, including you, me, and the entire universe, I would say. I think people who did not believe in gratitude, did not believe in miracles, have started believing in, that. Or people who are not believing in their own selves. I think that's so important that to, start loving yourself, because I think nothing is impossible for anybody. The sky is the limit, but if you're focused, you're dedicated, you're hardworking, and you're humble. I think being humble is the most important in any profession, be it Bollywood, corporate, anywhere. I think you rather have, well wishers than have enemies. Or if you don't like somebody who doesn't really gel with you, you stay clear, but do not get into controversy, gossip. I think time is being a big teacher, and I think we being at home, we've tried to rediscover ourselves in so many better ways, be it, mastering our craft, mastering our communication skills, or getting ideas from a coach like you, Aditya, who taught me how much to do about on LinkedIn. So I think, yes, every day is a learning phase. And if you embrace everybody around you with open arms, understand things from people, their vision also, and not think that I am smart and I know it all, I think you have so much to explore, so much to conquer. And like I say, sky is the limit. You can really, be the next Ambani if you want. It's like that. It's all in your hands, because we are responsible for what we manifest, what we make happen in our lives. And that's so important, really important.
And Ojas, I must really compliment you. Uh, you are such a successful icon, celebrity makeup artist, and you are so humble and approachable. That is something which I really appreciate, and I would really like to bow my head in front of you. I have really learned about humility from you, like how you are taking care of your parents and the community, and also the people, how you are giving them a positive self image. So that's really empowering for me. Thank you,
Thanks,
Ojas.
coach. Thank you so much.
And Ojas Priyanjali is there from LinkedIn, and she has given us a shout out and a greeting. I'll just
Oh,
display
Priyanjali,
it.
we love you. Like, look at her. She's been such a wonderful soul. I did her makeup and we hit off. And like, I always give people her example how she and Mega met. They never knew each other. But it's all about just communicating, trying to make things happen. And I don't think one should be embarrassed or feel shy or kind of insecure on asking for help or asking to make something happen. Like, that's the best thing, I think. Like how we talk about networking or about doing things like, I learned myself a very good lesson is that when last lockdown I did an online course, I cannot tell you the amount of well-wishers, the amount of blessings that they gave me, because there were so many people who had a dream to kind of do their course with me, learn with me, be a fantastic makeup artist, or maybe just even having that one vision of having a certificate with Ojas Rajani, or having a selfie like this on camera. And I have people from Canada, you're there, Kerala, I mean, the most bizarre place which I never thought people would even know of me. And you feel so nice and welcome, and you feel there's so much of love, so much of bond around. You just have to tap it in the right direction and stop cribbing, because we're all the time cribbing, oh, this is not happening, that is happening. We're all the time constantly complaining, and we're forgetting to have gratitude. I think you just, when you go out with open arms and have gratitude, things just fall in place.
Wow. Wow. And even we have a live compliment for you from LinkedIn. Shavik, one of the LinkedIn member, is saying that is so true. these testing time always make us human so grounded and teach us so many wonderful things about life. Well said. Thank you, Shobik. Thank you.
Shomik, but I'd like to add to this, whether it's these testing times or not, whether when you're flying very high or whether you're low, always be humble, have gratitude, and have a lot of love for everybody. And if you don't like somebody, somebody rubs you the wrong way, learn to ignore than to argue. I feel my mom taught me this from childhood, that always speak the truth. And if you can't handle something, do not argue or harper over it, let it go. Because when you argue and all, you're creating negativity around you. So you'd rather not be party to that.
Amazing, amazing. So, Ojas, for the people who are seeing you for the first time, do tell us about your career transformation. Like, you come from a finance background into beauty and cosmetic. Like, how did that happen? And you are a CA also. So,
Right.
wasn't just share your experience, please, Ojas.
So basically, I was a very good school student academically in school and in college, and I topped my college from Sydenham College. And I think during my batch was the only student who had taken chartered accountancy and ICW as a major subject from FY, SY, TY to graduating as a chartered accountant, because that was my father's dream. And me, I'd always discovered that it was very fashion trendy, very fashion forward from the time I was graduating from school in the 10th standard. A lot of people don't, but I used to model as a college student, as a school kid for quality ice creams, for, Vimal suitings. I think there was not a single brand which had not done and, have not been on a magazine cover. So I already had that database and I knew that this line was very attractive. But you know how being parents and, they want to kind of shield you and protect you, because during those days, Bollywood was a big taboo. Hair and makeup was like, oh my God, socially, people say, what is this? This is a hajam ka danda. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was actually called. And I remember when my father was kind of fired, because I used to go to work as a chartered accountant, and that time there were no mobiles. So my father got a complaint saying that Ojas has not shown up to work. So when I came home, my father asked me, where did you go? And I never lie. So I said, Papa, I am fed up of this desk job. I am so not at it, and I find it very boring. It's so unglamorous. So my father said one thing. He said, okay, I'll give you 1 week, figure out what you want. And that was the time when like a lot of people talk about clubbing and partying now, but we've been there, done it all. We used to go to Studio 29, which was of Sabra Merchant, where Salman Khan to Sangeeta Bijlani to Rajiv Rai, so to everybody used to party together, not like how today a film star on the top level and you're down. At that time, there was no hierarchy at all. We used to go to Sellers, which was a nightclub at Oberoi, and Taj has this very swanky nightclub called 1900s, which was the place to be in on Saturday night. So I met Sunil Shetty there, and he used to be very a big fan. He and his girlfriend that time, Mana, who's his wife now. They used to always
Hmm.
love me the way I am and the way I used to carry my things. And I think I dressed up or whatever I did with a bang. And I was like at least 10 years fashion forward, I would say. And I just met him and I said, listen to me. He said, what are you doing nowadays? I said, I'm just resigned from being a chartered accountant. And I'm like so frustrated. I don't know what to do, but I would love to do something with fashion or makeup. And he said, why don't you come and see me tomorrow? And I went the next day to his surprise. And he said, oh, just my wife, Mana, runs this whole fashion house. And, she does stuff with Jamni Alu as a designer. Would you like to do it? And that was my first day at work. And I did the whole window display. I changed the whole store around and I made everything so swanky and cool. And I think my communicative skills or my confidence, I think thanks to Mummy, Daddy, and to all my teachers out there who have been part of my journey, that they one thing which was imbibed in me, I was never insecure the way I was, though when I, kind of grew up, my sexual preferences were a big social taboo, or people were not, there were a lot of homophobic people, which are still there, but it never bothered me because I would just like, play a deaf ear and a blind eye to such people. And it didn't matter to me because I think that's what gave me a lot of followers, a lot of people who loved me for who I am. And I worked with Sunil for 6 to 8 months, and that is the time there was a designer called Anna Singh. She does till now Jackie Shroff's son, Jackie Shroff. She used to do Madhuri Dixit. So she started doing films that time, and she offered me a job. And I said, okay, let me try it out. And um, I was not very sure, yes, no, yes, no. And by then, my mom was getting very irritable that, oh, just what the hell is this? You're becoming too and too flamboyant. And you know how with Gujarati parents just can't handle your hair growing and wearing such cool clothes and boots and whatnot. And one good thing which was about me that I was very financially independent from the time I graduated from school. Like I said, I used to model, I used to do fashion shows, I used to do choreography. I used to that time do window displays for stores like Sheetal, Rupam, Benza, Glitterati, Interplaza. So I always was financially very secure. I never had that thing that, oh my God, I'm surviving on my parents' money. And that's what they loved about me, that I was a total go-getter. And My mom said, "Oh, there's nothing doing. Society is being pressurized that you're too flamboyant, you're too this. I don't think you should be here. You should go to America." And my mom's sister lives in America, in Miami, and she pushed me off to Miami. Imagine. And I remember when I went to Miami, my parents made me cut my hair really short, like Rahul Roy had his haircut that time. And I that time I talk about 23 years back. That time I used to have 30 pairs of shoes and 50 pairs of clothes, and my clothes were really color block clothes. That was too trendy. So when I went there, my Masi and her daughter obviously knew where I was coming from. And her daughter is a Spanish lady. So she's saying, "Oh, this, you're so bloody cool. You fit the bill." And they have a fashion house called Mahuri International where they do high-end clothes, perfume. That time they used to have Carolina Herrera, which that time nobody knew in India. Or today, still in India, nobody knows of this perfume brand called Escada. So we used to deal in that. We used to deal in high-end 18-karat jewelry. So I started doing stuff with them. And while doing that, I went and enrolled myself in the Beauty School of America. And I got my chance to work with Britney Spears, Mariah Carey, Jennifer Lopez. So that was like a big blessing. And I was very happy. So those 6.5 years were like a blessing in disguise. And I'd not come home for that long. So mom said, "Oh, just why don't you come and see me?" And I come home suddenly with long hair and even more cooler, even more trendy. And my mother was like, "Oh my God, this is a little too much to handle." I said, "Mama, relax." And cut to, I just made my phone calls to all my friends, well wishers, and there was a photographer. There is a photographer called Mr. Suresh Natarajan, who is today the most expensive, the most top photographer in India, be it fashion, be it Bollywood. Karina, I should have fight for his dates. It's that he's so good. And I approached him. I said, "Suresh, I've come back and I've done makeup." So that time, I would like to say this to everybody in Hindi कि इंडिया में फॉरेन रिटर्न का बहुत मोह है लोगों को बहुत ही वो है फॉरेन रिटर्न फॉर especially 20 years back people have oh my she come from foreign so they will even ask lick me for all they had to you know what I'm saying. So I said, wow, I've learned from Miami. They welcome me with open hands. Like, Ojas, I'm doing this shoot the day after with Urmila Matondkar for Rangila. Would you be interested? So I said, are you sure? He's saying, yeah. And I said, okay, fine. So I don't mind going and meeting her. So next morning, I go to Urmila's house in Lokhandwala. And Chatham, she used to live in Duplay there, which now the house is bought by Sonu Sood. So she was getting down the staircase of her house, and I'm like, oh, MG, she's quite a diva. So when I opened up all my feathers, I said, you're a diva, I'm a bigger diva, darling. And I'm a full bag. I'm a Virgo. So I'm very bang on professional and very organized. I had my makeup kit, my hair extensions, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hi, Urmila. She said, hi, my darling, you're so gorgeous. I said, so are you, my darling, and I remember I asked her, I said, would you want to try? She's saying, are you crazy? She's saying, if Suresh Natarajan has recommended your name, and even Manish Malhotra knows me. So she said, even Manish knows me and Manish graduated from college together. We both used to model together. So she said, well, I've heard enough of you, so I don't need a trial. And she said, next week we are flying to Hyderabad, and then we're going to the desert to shoot all these songs. Would you be keen? I said, I'd love to. And I think that was the biggest change in my career, which kind of made me feel even not so good about myself. And I think my biggest USP was that during that time, I was the only makeup artist who did hair. Because that I know till date there are so many Bollywood hairdressers, sorry with due respect to them, they cannot blow dry their hair. If you see 99% brides, actresses have the same problem. Oh my God, she could not blow dry my hair. Their vision is being very restricted in terms of hairstyling or grooming somebody's hair, or especially the basic blow dry bouncy curls, which is my signature style, which everybody can identify. And I think with God's grace, I have this signature style that the way I do the eyes and the hair, people can pinpoint and say, wow, this is the signature Ojas Rajani look. And I think that time, after that, there was no stopping. I did movies like Janam Samjha Karo, Daur, Mast, where she literally looked like a model. I mean, she killed the Bollywood market that time. And again, Manish, I think his in combination with me was fantastic. Manish styled the clothes for all these movies. And if you see all those songs, Om Bhagre and Janam Samjha Karo was a big super duper hit with Salman. So I remember I done this song in that called Sabki Barate Aayi Doli To Bilana with Jasmine that Narula had shot. And she wore this lovely golden lehenga choli with, lovely soft golden bridal makeup had done. So a lot of people asked around who's done that makeup. And then I started getting a few brides. And I'm like, oh God, I don't know do brides. Because that time you're very like, oh, I'm doing this actress and I'm doing that actress. So I was not giving so much bow to any of the brides. Sorry about that. And that's the time when I get my first ad to do with Ishwarya Rai for Coca-Cola. And again, I feel very happy that though she had just heard of me, she had never worked with me, and I was a newcomer, she could have easily asked for a trial, because during those times, they could have easily asked me for a trial that who the fuck are you, we don't even know you. But I'm so grateful that no Urmila, no Aishwarya, no Sushmita, nobody ever asked me for a trial. So today, when brides ask me for a trial, I literally laugh at them that, are you serious? Like, you crazy? I mean, my work is all out there. You can see what you want, but what do you want for a trial? And also, I feel that just doing a trial doesn't really help. because you don't get into the character of a bride to be before her wedding. She's going to have hajar facials, colored hair treatment, and then that magic which happens on the day is totally different. So then after I did my ad with Ishwarya, she was doing her first movie again with Shankar, if you know Shankar, the guy who did I. And there were some
Yes.
songs where she's shot in the Seven Wonders of the World, if you've seen that. So that was my biggest work with Shankar. And then he did Hindustani again with Urmila, Manisha Koirala, Kamal Hassan. That Latka Dikha Diya Humne. And that was
Huh.
again Manish Malhotra with the fashion sequence. Then
Wow.
there was a song with Kamal Hassan and Manisha Koirala, that Telephone Dil Mein Machne Wali, which was shot in New Zealand. See my memory, I remember all my work. So I think that became again a big talk of the town. And
Hmm.
then I got Sushmita to do, if you see her song, that Dilbar Dilbar, which has become a big
Hmm.
item song now. So I got that
Huh.
song. So again, I was called the item song queen because at that time I even got Malaika Arora. So imagine again, like I'm saying, I would love to say to this audience that when you dream or when you vision something, that, oh wow, I want to be part of this, or maybe. So we used to watch MTV Grind that time. If you remember, every Sunday MTV Grinds come in the swimming pool with that ball and people are gyrating and dancing, and Malaika's there with her bikini shaking her ass and all. That's to feel, wow, I'd love to dress this chick, man. She's like another JLo. She's so bloody stunning. And cut to, I get a call from MTV that, Malaika would love to meet you. I said, are you serious? And I
Wow.
thought she's bloody joking. So I went for a meeting and she said, I'm not calling you for makeup. Listen to this again, okay? I'm telling you why. Because I'm such a, I'm so grateful to Destiny, and I always call myself Destiny's child because whatever I dreamt, God made it happen. So that time there was a production house called Optimistic, Sanjeev Sharma, who's still there today. He does all these Khatro Ke Khiladi and all that stuff. So he was doing an ad with Malaika for Dam Pan Masala. If you've seen that ad, Malaika's Dam Pan Masala with Divakar Pundir was the actor, and she and he were there. Where that song is a Dam Maro Dam Maro, and she's a big. So they called me to do styling because I had learned hair, makeup, and costume styling. So again, I forgot to tell you that when I worked with Anna Singh, I used to do styling, makeup, and I could, Madhuri Dixit Sajan, then Saudagar of Manisha Koirala debut movie. Then if you've seen Vishwatma of Rajiv Rai with Sonam and Divya Bharti again, Tridev. So those were all ultra glam looks if you've seen. And that time also the makeup looks like today's generation makeup. It never looked cakey or flamboyant or loud or, old school kind of a look. So I got a call. Malaika saying, Ojas, we love you to only style. I said, but I would also love to do. She's saying, no, I have my own makeup artist. I'm like, okay, and in my head I said, screw you, like, oh God. And then Sanjeev said me, Ojas, calm down, relax. He thinks she's at least called you for styling, so be it. Next day we're shooting in Mukesh Mills in Kolaba. And her makeup artist is doing her makeup and her hairdresser is doing her hair. And me, another perfectionist Virgo. Sometimes the makeup, but don't you think you should smudge the eyes? Don't you should use a softer color because the daylight shoot? So Malaika till lunch kept quiet. After lunch, she said, "Look, listen to me. You're interfering too much with my team. If you think you know it all, why don't you do it?" I said, "Okay, Malaika, then go and wash your face, and I'll show you what I can do." And she literally washed her face. Imagine. She literally washed her face. And I remember Sanjeev had told me that, don't worry, if you manifest, it'll happen. And during that time, also, I used to carry my makeup bag in the dicky of my car. We always have a dicky like a beauty parlor. We have a makeup chair, lights, makeup, hair bag. So I carried it. So in the lunch break, I started doing her hair and makeup. And till that day, till now, I think all the good campaigns or whatever she's done, it's always been me with her. And we've been to so many countries like Egypt, Cairo, Turkey, Istanbul. We've gone to Canada. We go to London, Yorkshire. This IFA award, that. So she's always loved because my thing was that I used to do hair and makeup both. And when they
Hmm.
perform on stage, so they want somebody who's fast, non-fussy, knows it all. And she did all her good songs with me. So it was like again on the icing of the cake. Then again, if you know, Bosco Sees is a very famous choreographer in Bollywood. In fact, he's the best right now, he and Remo. So he was shooting this movie called Girlfriend with Isha Kopikar and Amrita Arora. It was a lesbian movie.
Huh.
And they told me to do one scene over there in Mauritius. And I went to do the makeup for Isha. And that time Bosco came up with this idea. If you remember, there's a song called Bhor Bhai Pangat of Satyam Shivam Sundaram. So he did the remix of that with Isha Kopikar. And she looked literally like Beyonce. If you see that song till date on YouTube, I think Isha Kopikar has never looked better. And she killed it. That whole song, Bhor Bhai, which was a remix in Mauritius. And the minute we came down, in 2 days, she gets signed for L'Oreal Paris. Imagine. So
Wow.
again, she calls saying, Ojas, I would love to use you for L'Oreal Paris. And then cut to Malaika's manager is to handle Malaika as well as Isha Kopikar. So till date, we are in touch and still date, we work together. And then when I did Devdas, I think Sanjay Leela Bansali is like a perfectionist, like he knows it all. He is so bang on. So Nita Lulla had done the clothes and I had done the hair and makeup. That was the first time I get a call from London from one of my brides called Preeti Popar, who's also on LinkedIn with us. And she called me and she vaguely asked me, Ojas, I'd love to have you and Nita Lulla do my wedding. I said, are you serious? Because I said, I've never gone to London to do a bride because I don't do brides. She said, no, darling, I trust you. You have to do it. And you have to come alone and you have to do me, my two sisters, and my mom. And that was the biggest challenge of my bridal market opening, that I went to Leicester. They live in Leicester City. And she, her sister Deepshika, and her sister Neetal, and her mom. I did all four, hair and makeup all alone, imagine, for 4 days. And that was the time of my life I've had, because I had such a blast. It took me out shopping, here, there, everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, destination weddings are so much fun. And then I just started saying yes to everything. And then my entry happened to the bridal market as well. And then there was no stopping till now.
Wow, that. Kudos to you, and we have got so many compliments. Like
Thank you.
from people from YouTube. Sanchit is there. Then Shavik is again saying that wow, that is a beautiful journey, ma'am. Kudos to you. Your confidence is refreshing. And
Thank you.
Nitish is also complimenting. Good evening. Thank you, Nitish, Shavik, Sanchit.
Thank you, Shopping Nidhi, Sanjay, everybody.
Great. So I would request your response on this question, because this is one of the questions which I invite all my speakers to comment upon. It is, what advice would you give to a smart driven individual about real world, and what advice to ignore?
Uh, okay, that's a very tricky question. Basically, the advice to be given for the real world is be yourself. I would always tell people, just be yourself, because I'll give you my very example. I never try to be somebody else. I never try to hide my preferences or my personality or my interests, be it my work. And I think that really, really worked for me, because if I can be successful and be here for 3 generations, like I said, I started my career with Urmila to Aishwarya to Sara Ali Khan's mother, Amrita Singh, to Jaya Bachchan, Shweta Bachchan, Navya Nanda, to Deepika, Sonam, Katrina, Sara Ali Khan's mom, to, Tara Sutari, to everybody. It's not easy, but it's definitely easy if you know your job right and you're focused, I feel. So do not get distracted by people criticizing you or trying to put you down, because there always will be some people who love you and there are some people who always hate you. So do not pay ear to the people who hate you or try to distract you. Keep your focus on, like my mother father always told me that Oja, ek hathi, the elephant. Hathi hamesha apni soon uchi karke it walks. It doesn't take care of what dogs are barking. It doesn't even react to the dogs barking, because the hathi knows that if I just trample that dog, the dog is going to die in a second. So be an elephant or be a queen. Do not bother about criticism. And if it does bother you, take it in your stride. If something bothers you, like maybe something a lot of people stammer while talking, or the English is not great. Like, I'll give you an example. Urmila Matondkar is not from an English background school. She herself has told me that, Ojas, I was from a Hindi medium school, but she did her dictionary so well. She learned English. She would study during in between takes, this, that, try to improve her vocabulary, her pronunciation. And like, I mean, hats off to her. She is where she is today. And one thing that Urmila taught me is, Ojas, always think you are of the star of the evening. Because I remember when I joined Bollywood 20 years back, there was a lot of hierarchy that makeup artist would stay in a smaller hotel and, actresses would stay in the 5-star, or makeup artist would fly economy and, actors would fly business. But she made me say this to the producer that Ojas will also fly business class, take it or leave it. And I think I kept that motto of mine from 20 years that, excuse me, even if I fly Bombay, Pune, I will fly business class. Even if I fly to Canada, it'll be business class, and I'll be in the same hotel as the actor. In fact, my room should be right next to her, because what used to happen, that I used to do makeup in my room, because I've seen that when I did this movie called Om Jai Jagdish, where there was Mahima Chaudhary, Tara Sharma, and Urmila, and there was another makeup artist for Mahima Chaudhary, and it was really sad to see that we were in Dubai, and in Dubai our hotel was like in Jumeirah. Luckily I was with Urmila at the same hotel, but the other makeup artist was put up in a small hotel which was 1 hour far away, and the makeup call would be at 6 a.m. in the hotel. And the poor makeup artist coming and sitting down from 5:45 in the lobby, sitting, sleeping like that, feeling like all totally gone. And they don't even offer him a cup of tea or no breakfast, because the unit will always give everything on the site, right? And whenever you're shooting, breakfast always provided only on the site, not in the actress's hotel. And then this diva wakes up at 7, then he goes bichara up. He's not even allowed to use the washroom. So again, come down if he needs to use the washroom, which is really sad. So that was the time when I realized that thanks to people like Urmila who support, but thanks to my confidence or my persona or to my hard work. Because, like, yes, I would love to say that I used to do hair and makeup. I always kept myself abreast with the latest trends. That, I mean, there was no internet, but we used to look at foreign magazines. That time also there used to be Vogue, Harper's. There were these hair magazine, fashion magazine. We used to go to the Ratibala, do our research. You know, that time there was nobody who tell you what is happening otherwise. So I guess if you make your own personality or your own style statement of your work as well, like an artist or an interior decorator or a fashion designer, they should have their distinct individual style. Do not need to copy others. But yes, you need to keep abreast with the trend and be so super confident that you know that you can do it and you can create magic. When you have that in you 100%, nothing can shake you, break you at all. And also, yes, always remember, talk less, work more. That's what I've learned in my profession. That always play a year. Like if some actress or a bride or anybody is asking you, like if I'm doing Priyanjali Dud's makeup and Priyanjali may have a look in her mind, I should listen to what she likes, understand, then maybe give my 1 plus 2 and then tell her, oh wow, let's create magic. But if you give attitude, or if you think, oh, I know it all and I'm smart, don't teach me my work, you will never grow in life. Always be humble, grounded, that yes, understand what your client wants. Like today, if you go to a Manish Malhotra to wear clothes, he will help you, but even he'll understand what you want. Or if you call an architect, you don't blindly tell the architect to design your house. You always give in your input, right? So I guess everybody has a right and a chance to give their input and their expertise, what we call, or their vision, because everybody has a vision of what they want. So I think when you start giving that in life, it's a sure shot winner. But when you start behaving too smart for your shoes or behaving too rude and la di da that, oh sorry, but I know it all, I think then your life is short lived or your work is short lived. And by the end of the day, our work is, you know, word of mouth. So I always feel when you've created that great goodwill in the market, yes, there might be some people who put you down or bitch you, but there will be at least more, it'll always weigh down the bad towards the good, right? So I feel that's what matters. And when you focus on that and not focus on the negativity or the negative aspects, it'll really help you. A. B, I'd love to tell you all is that whatever profession, be it Bollywood, be it makeup artist, or be whatever profession, keep up to your commitment, come what may, and be on time. You cannot afford to be late for any job of an actor or a bride or whatever, or any commitment, because how can you be late? I mean, there is no excuse to that, come what may, I feel, because I've heard of a lot of makeup artists who come late, and that's scary. How can you be late? It's like stupidity. I'll give you my example. I told you this, coach Aditya, that on 15th of March, I'll never forget this in my life. 15th of March, I was in Goa doing the Ajmer Island wedding. You know, Namaste Ajmer was a bride. And I was in Goa doing a wedding, and I get a call from my mom saying that my father's admitted in the ICU. Remember, I told you his oxygen levels had gone down because my father just recovered from COVID, and my father's a 50% heart failure, 50% kidney failure. And I know what I'm dealing with. So I got a call from mom on video call. Luckily, the bride sees it all. And she said, don't worry, tomorrow after my wedding finishes, we'll try and put you next flight tomorrow evening. But I kept my calm. I was not hyper and going all over the place and behaving stupid and idiotic. I tried calling 2 doctors. Nobody helped. And then I realized I said, let me call Mrs. Ambani, who's my client. And Mrs. Neeta Ambani took my call, and she said within 10 minutes, her ambulance arrived. My dad was admitted into the Ambani hospital for 17 days. Papa was in the ICU, 17 days. But we just kept on chanting, praying for his good health and everything. And he was back with a bang. And thanks to my sister, she lives in Dubai. I called her up the next morning on 16th. I said, babe, I'm really stressed with Papa's health. She took the next flight and came to Bombay. So I guess when you are focused, when you're positive, you know how to make things happen and you're not all over the place, things do fall in place. So that is very important. But again, I think the bride was so super grateful that she knew that I finished my job and went back the next night. You cannot leave a job halfway. Same thing with films. You cannot, whatever, you know, like in our business, there's a saying, the show must go on, come what may. Whether it's a storm, whether it's a death, whether there's anything, the show must go on. Nothing can stop, because when you're doing a bride or a shoot, there are so many people's dates involved, so much of money involved. They cannot change their schedule because of your one problem, right? So I guess this is a learning lesson for all of us. And I think if you keep up to that, I think nothing can shake you, break you, nothing. And then you need to prioritize. Like today, I'm doing this for 23. This is my 23rd year. So I now know that during Bollywood season time, I only do Bollywood. But during the wedding season time, I do not take up any actress's work. Plus, I run my school, so I give my dates to that. So I think when you prioritize everything like that, you're sorted.
Wow. Wow. And Ojas, we have got so many compliments from YouTube. I'll just share them. Ashish Tripathi has highlighted. That's really great, ma'am. Ruhi, she herself is a fitness community member and an amazing person. She's saying, right, be yourself. And then we have got other comments. I'll just show it. Um, Sagar Agarwal has mentioned from YouTube, beautiful message. Vatsal has a question which I would just be coming over to. And Ruhi is saying, superb, nice example of elephant don't care about barking dogs. That's so. So now let us
Ruhi, we
take some
need some fitness tips, darling. So we're definitely going to talk to you about fitness tips soon.
great, Rohit. So be ready. So I would be taking some audience question from our live. So let's
Sure.
take the first one from Shavik from LinkedIn. Shavik is asking, "Ma'am, your optimism is so vibrant. How do you keep your spirit high, and how do you handle your low?"
Oh, how sweet. So I think again, Shomik, this is again, I think it's all in the mind. And like I said, again, I've not shared the secret. My mom is a Brahma Kumari, if you ever heard of Brahma Kumari. So my mom is a Brahma Kumari from my birth time. And one thing she taught us always is to meditate and de-stress yourself. So I remember whether it was in school, whether it was in college, or whether it's an exam, or whether it's some difficult interview or some job or whatever, she used to make me wake up at 3:30 a.m., which is called the Amrit Vela time. Yes, you must listen to this. Amrit Vela time is the best time to wake up. And whoever you believe in, whichever Lord, God, whatever you may believe in, just leave your problems to that Lord and say that, please help me, take care of my problems and let me de-stress about everything. Let me detach from any kind of negativity or any clutter or any game that my mind is playing. And trust me, that works. I would not say a bad relation, but I had a awful relation with my boyfriend for 3.5 years, and I just could not focus. I could not get out of it, and I thank my mom that she made me religiously meditate, for those times. And I think just my life changed, my focus changed, and my priorities changed. I started becoming more focused in my work, and cut to things just turned around with my boyfriend. He became such a good guy. He's a Brazilian guy, so it was so nice that he wanted me to move to Brazil, which was just impossible. And now he's here. He's a very big architect. So things just fall in place when you have the faith, and like if you're optimistic. But I guess if you are shaky, just don't let your. I think we're all human beings. Our mind does play games all the time, but do not allow your mind to play games. I feel whenever I feel I'm a little shaky, I start dancing, I jump, I listen to music. Like I love Bollywood music. I can listen to songs, to this, to that, to everything. Oh, I love drawing, painting. I don't know if you've seen my house and my Instagram, but I love doing home decor. So I'm very happy. I've done my Bandra house, my Loda house, my town house, everything I've done myself, just with the help of a mystery or a carpenter. But I love kind of exploring things, doing my wardrobe, redesigning my wardrobe to refurbishing my clothes, bags, shoes, helping my mom in the kitchen, or doing things around. Because I think when I feel there's a saying, idle mind is a devil's work. So the minute you're idle, your mind will start playing games. So do not give into those kind of negative thoughts or idle, or do not feel, oh, I'm a loser, I'm depressed. Why should there be depression? See, everybody has their share of ups and downs in life, because life is like a roller coaster, right? And enjoy the ride. When you're going up, woo, enjoy the excitement. You go down, again feel overwhelmed to go up again. Think of that. Do not think, oh my God, I've stuck down, I'm grounded. Do not think that. Think that, oh my God, tomorrow I have to again ride high in the roller coaster. And when you start enjoying that ride in life, I'm telling you, you will be a super duper rock star. Nothing will ever stress you out or put you down or pull you down. And in fact, I feel this is what again mom has taught me, that if you keep your aura so strong, like you manifest the first when I wake up from bed, I always wake up saying that God, please give me a halo of circular protection. When you wake up with that mind that okay, I've got a circular halo of protection, or keep me decluttered from any kind of negativity. When you wake up with that sense, you see your whole day goes so fantastic. Also, what I've learned is the minute I wake up and when I'm having a shower, I listen to music, I listen to the Gayatri Mantra, Hanuman Chalisa, Mahamrityunjay Mantra, because I think for my father's mother, I always love to listen to that every morning. And I have speakers all around the house, and when they listen to it, and I go in a very happy mood with whatever it may be, whatever situation may be, whether it's a financial crunch, some emotional crunch, I do not let it bogger me down. I just enjoy the ride. And I think that's what keeps you motivated. I feel today also, if you remember, I was a little late for you, coach, but I have a 4 people living staff in my house, and they all got vaccinated yesterday afternoon. So today, 2 of them were like, "Oh my God, my hand is hurting and this is hurting." So I was helping them also. I was trying to be an all-rounder, so I keep them also happy, so they do not feel, "Oh my God, that I'm not giving them that attention." Also, because everybody likes a little bit of tender love and care, or a little bit of attention. We all attention seekers. Let's face it, whether we like it or not, we all love attention. So I guess that's very nice and that's very good about it. So do not, feel bogged down and look at yourself in the mirror. When you feel down, when you feel upset, look at yourself and say, oh, wow, I've come such a long way. Look at me, how pretty I am, how smart I am, how successful I am. That'll motivate you to do better. Do not get bogged down anyway, or listen to YouTube, listen to some music. Just, kind of de-stress yourself, or best hit the gym or go for a run. You'll come back feeling happy about yourself and about everything.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing this powerful mantra. So, Vatsal has asked, which celebrity did you enjoy working with the most since you have mentioned so many celebs? So, who is your personal favorite?
It'll be very hard to pick up one, but I think all have been, I'm totally humbled and grateful to all the actresses who worked with me because never have they stressed me out, never have they asked me for a trial or, pull me down or put my work down or whatever. In fact, they've always encouraged me to be better and better. And I'd love to say this because when I came from America, that was 25 years of age, I bought my first house in my father's building, like a duplex. And I remember that time when I came, suddenly the social taboo, and she's so feminine and she's so this and she's so that and all. The minute I bought my house, everybody's zips were locked. They, oh my God, wow, just a compliment. We love to say hi, we love to come and see, and everybody coming and buttering you up. And that extra love and attention, which is so fake. But this is the kind of society that we live in, sorry. So I told my mom, it doesn't bother me. Let them come, let their asses burn, seeing that about a duplex. Let them feel that, oh my God, she's looking so hot, so pretty, whatever. And I think thanks to my sister and my brother-in-law, because my brother-in-law's always lived in Germany and his vision has always been above all this shit. So he and my sister always kind of encouraged me again to, fly around and be what I wanted to be and never kind of get bogged down by any kind of criticism. So I was always very happy. And I remember when if you've seen my series Beyond Bollywood,
Yes,
they've
yes.
shown my old house, the Duplay house, where they're showing my father, and the second floor, third floor is me and all. Because that was my whole journey. Then they show me again in my new house, which I bought in Bandra with Isha Kopikar on the bill. If you see Beyond Bollywood, they've shown the whole story. So that was the time I started doing Bollywood, and I'm so grateful that I think I barely did what. Uh, I think I done what's it called? Devdas. I think Devdas is the time when I started doing too much Bollywood, and I'm like, Mummy, I also want to be a Bandra girl. I don't want to be a townie because it's too hectic, and for me to be too tough because I used to live in Chowpatty town. So for me to go all the way to the airport would mean going 3 hours earlier. Or if you're going for a shoot to Film City or Mud Island, I have to leave my house at 5 a.m. And that was crucial. So I was looking around. I bought this lovely house in Bandra where we have Malaika Arora staying in that building, and that was totally lovely. That I got that as a blessing that I bought that house, and I stayed there for 12 and a half years in Bandra all alone. Imagine, I enjoyed the freedom, I enjoyed everything. And my parents used to live on because they love the townhouse better because they live townies, they have their own friend circle, their own satsang group and whatever. And I remember that Bandra house became such a love nest for my actresses. I remember again, I did this movie called Fashion with Priyanka Chopra and Mugdha Godse. And half the time they used to come to my house and do makeup because calls used to be early morning. Vanity vans don't start before 9 a.m. In shooting, they have the thing that, oh, 9 baje ka vanity van, shuru hoga, tabhi generator chalu hoga. And Madhur Bhandarkar wants the actors ready at 9:30. It's not possible. So they used to feel so welcome because I'd done up that time only my whole house like a studio with lighting and dressing table and blah. Like I was a very girly thing. It was like my doll house, I would say. So I think that welcomed them so much. And again, cut to during doing fashion, look at Destiny. I never even dreamt of this to happen. But Jacqueline's first movie, Aladdin, which was with Ritesh Deshmukh and her, that came into my lap. I was
Wow.
approached that Ojas, would you like to do Aladdin? And I said, wow, who the hell is Jacqueline? Don't even know. They said, just don't worry, just come. And I went for the first day to her shoot. And I am so grateful to Jacqueline and so proud of her today again that she is the biggest example of hard work. Because I remember when I used to do Aladdin, I used to do into fashion. So one day I'm shooting the morning with Jacqueline, evening I'm shooting for fashion. Or sometimes doing both the shoots mornings. I go early morning to work, do Jacqueline's makeup, leave my assistant there, then go to do, fashion. And if you know, I've also acted a little bit in the movie Fashion again, thanks to
Yes.
Madhur. So that used to happen, and I realized that Jacqueline was a total Westerner. She could not speak Hindi at all. So imagine she that time her first debut movie, but she used to call a teacher who we call Guruji in Hindi. He used to come to teach her vocabulary and pronunciation of English to Hindi for her dialogue. And Amitabh ji also was there. So Mr. Bachchan will obviously would just see how hardworking she because Mr. Bachchan will again see me doing so much of work with Ishwarya, this one, that one. I've done even that Ram Gopal Verma ke Sholay and all that stuff. So he already knew. So he was like so happy seeing somebody like a Jacqueline who was a nobody, total Western or not having a filmy background, but she used to buy heart lines, darling. That was such a good thing. All she knew that today's a song, or just I need to come to your house, can I come and practice? Can I show you if I'm doing this like Ada nicely, this, that. We should try and work things, and I think that's so good because once you start, like obviously, once you start enjoying your profession, your character, your art, your vision, I think that's like a biggest boon to you, and that can just take you places. There's no coming back. So I think that really works well. And a lot of people I know today are very jealous that oh, she has 3 and 4 houses in Bombay, but I have worked my ass off also. With all my actresses can say that tomorrow morning I'm shooting it for Aladdin, in the afternoon I'm shooting for fashion, or morning I'm shooting with Malaika for something, in the evening I'm doing Nach Ballet, or I'm doing some other bride in the evening. So I have worked very hard, but I have enjoyed every bit of it. And that time when I used to have 3 shoots a day, I used to not go into my swanky cars. I used to go on a motorbike with my assistant. So my assistant would drive the motorbike and I would hold my makeup bag like a haversack. And we used to go broom, broom, finish this makeup, then go leave an assistant there, finish with. And luckily, all my hairdressers, my assistants have really been a wonderful part of my journey. So I truly feel obliged and grateful to them that it was because of their support, their love, their hard work, everything together. I think I am today where I am proudly, and I've done more than 87 films in Bollywood, be it with any actress. So I think definitely works very well when you have a support system as well as when you have your actresses who are so confident in you. I have a story written by Malaika and Aishwarya on Google. If you see it, it's there on the net. It come on the Mumbai Mirror front page that I can trust Ojas blindly that I know when in my sleep she will do good makeup. So that was the best thing what she ever said, Malaika. And Aishwarya said that even in your sleep, we know that you're going to do a fantastic job. And one more thing which Aishwarya have written is that always in my brain, that always remember, do not get distracted, do not get bothered with people would say. Remember, your work speaks volumes. So I think this, when we start remembering that, yes, your work speaks volumes, you start kind of moving the right direction.
And we have got so many compliments pouring in. I'll start with the few one. Ashish Tripathi is saying, ma'am, I must say your thoughts are very clear and inspiring. Thank you, Ashish. Pooja Kumari from Facebook is saying, very interesting, thought-provoking conversation. Shavik is saying, those are some great advices. Thank you so much for sharing it with all of us. We'll definitely keep in mind. You surely inspired me, ma'am. Great, Shavik. And there are so many questions. Dharak is saying, God bless you, Ojas. That's really so much promising.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sagar Agarwal is saying,
Sagar is actually from our group, right? He's from
yes,
Club, right? Sagar, how yes. Sorry, I've spoken to Sagar before.
So Sagar is saying, beautiful message. And there are so many questions. Like I'll share one with you, and which is very thought-provoking by Nitish Kumar. I'll just share it. Nitish is saying that, ma'am, how do you manage these 24 hours? Because you have got so much for yourself. So how exactly do you manage these 24 hours, and what are your tips for the other people?
Oh, wow. I think, you know what? When you sleep, I sleep without baggage. I think first thing you started with your sleep. So when I sleep, I have my Alexa, I have my lovely calming music or some mantras. Like I do a lot of Buddhist chanting. So what I do is I end my day by looking at my phone at 11 p.m. And then after 11 p.m., I do not look at anybody's message, be it whoever. I keep my phone on silent at 11 p.m. because by 11:15, 11:20, I like to be in bed. But before I be in bed, I chant, I have a little prayer next to me in my bed, and I listen to the mantras or whatever. I just go off to sleep. And the minute I wake up, I first wake up chanting. So that because a lot of times, we wake up seeing our phone, अरे बाप रे, किसका message है, क्या है? So that again kind of boggles you down, because what happens is like what you see is what you get, right? So if you see some message and something upsets you, then you wake up looking grumpy, feeling grumpy. But you want to feel smiley, you want to feel happy when you wake up. So that's what I do is I do not look at my phone first. I first pray, do my things. Then I go shower, then I do my Tulsi Puja, do a dhoop in the whole house, and then I go and look at my phone. And while, like I said, in the morning when I wake up, I, be very chirpy, listen to music, listen to things which keep me very happy. And the first thing I go and see my mom in her room, go and see my dad in his room to see everything is fine, they've eaten, they're happy. So I think that makes, so I guess when you start feeling happiness in your own surroundings, in your own home, बोलते ना कहावत एक बचपन से कि when you find happiness, अगर आपको अपने घर में खुशी मिलती है, अगर आपका भले एक छोटा झोपड़ा हो, तो आपको कोई महल से कोई नहीं फर्क पड़ता है. Like I remember जब हम बच्चे थे, तो बाजू वाले आंटी ने और मम्मी से ज्यादा नाश्ता अच्छा बनाया, she made some lovely crispies, या उन्होंने अच्छा बनाया, so that you come and tell मम्मी ने नहीं उनका तो ज्यादा अच्छा था, you know, school tiffin we always compare, नहीं इसकी मम्मी ने ज्यादा वो चकली अच्छी बनाई थी, इसकी मम्मी ने चिवड़ा अच्छा बनाया, वाला drama, but till you do not appreciate what you have and you all the time constantly looking at, oh what she has got a tiffin and oh wow, look at her thing is better, जब ये ad आते रहते भला उसकी साड़ी मेरी साड़ी से सफेद कैसे, अगर आप ये मोटो रखेंगे आप जिंदगी में कभी भी आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे. I always feel did not think that भला उसकी साड़ी मेरी साड़ी से सफेद कैसे, always think hello excuse me, my sari is I think way prettier than her sari. When you start thinking like that, I mean it's just going to stop every kind of negative approach and you know any negative thought process. So first of all I feel is that have gratitude and be happy in your surroundings. The minute you start enjoying yourself, your personality, your loved ones, your family, your own home, I feel I at times really feel that when it's a holiday, a lot of people call me, let's go here, but I feel no, I'm so enjoying my own surrounding. I want to be at home. I want to listen to my music. I want to be in my TV room or do something, whatever. I think when you start doing that, you will start enjoying your own personality. You start being at peace with your own self, because I think we have to be at peace with our inner self. Start loving ourselves, because I feel there's always a motive in on Instagram to see these hashtags. It says love what you do and love yourself. The minute you start loving yourself and loving what you do, nothing can stop you. No negative thought process can stop you, or nothing kind of boggles you down or troubles you. Or you will not even be jealous with somebody, or you will not even be like enamored, oh wow, oh she has this, she. Because a lot of, when you're young, we're all immature, we all grow up, thinking things. So sometimes we feel, oh wow, Coach Aditya ke chashme kitne achhe, Coach ka background, mere background se kyun acha. You know what I'm saying? The minute you start doing these things, you're never happy. But when you start appreciating, wow, he's such a lovely personality. Look at Coach, his background is so nice. When you appreciate, you'll be happy. But when you try to compare and do distinction and have that jealousy kind of a feeling towards you, will never be happy. You'll only be miserable. So I always advise people that please be at peace with yourself, love your surroundings, love what you do, enjoy what you do. Then you'll be wherever you are. Like I truly wanted to be in this profession. I fought family, I fought everybody, I fought society, because that time, 23 years back, I'm telling you, it was a total social taboo. I remember some people called my father saying that, what is your son doing a hajam ka danda? Because that time doing hair and makeup was like being a hajam. But this hajam, they realized that time that every time I traveled business class, every time I came up, coming, doing well, it was a slap on their face. So like my mother always says that I never used to have to tell anything to them, because when they used to see me coming in the newspapers, magazines, credits, obviously they saw, oh. So उनको आपको जवाब देने की जरूरत नहीं. Your one good project, your one good success story is a slap on their face. So that's the way it should be. And when you think like that, nothing will stop you.
Okay. And the YouTube is flooded with compliments. Like Nitish is saying, amazing, ma'am.
Thank you,
Supriya
Nitesh.
Swaraj, she's saying, agreed, I'm glad someone thinks like me. On this whole topic of sari is just so horrible. And and then Coach Sagar Agarwal is saying gratitude and appreciation of what we have is the biggest satisfaction factor. That is a lovely thought, Ojas. And there are so many hearts flowing in the comment. I can't tell you,
Thank
Ojas.
you
It's
so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you all.
great. So, Ojas, my next question to you is, how has a failure or an apparent failure set you up for success? And do you have any favorite failure of yours?
Oh wow, that's a lovely question. But surprisingly, I don't think I've had any share of failures, because I never allowed failure to even touch me. I think my success story is because I never thought of failure. I never allowed any failure to happen. It did not touch me. I mean, yes, there are days when you kind of there are challenges, like when you do Bollywood, there are very high end challenge of traveling, doing this, doing that, work pressure. Like I said, when you're doing 3 shoots a day, you're totally tired, your back is hurting, because yes, when you're doing hair and makeup constantly, your right hand is hurting, your back is hurting. So yes, all those things are definitely a little, I would say, physical problems. I would say not even physical, stress, feelings. But otherwise, I think there was never any failure, because like I said, I exactly knew what I wanted, how I wanted, what I wanted to do. So luckily, at a very young age, and the minute I said, being that stupid foreign return technology which we had in India, the minute I came, Urmila, Ishwarya, everybody happened. Then I had Deepika happening, Sonam happened, and the bridal market happened. So I never touched wood had any kind of failure as such. Um, I would say that, in fact, it made me really improvise my relation with my parents. I think, any kind of negative thought process, like I said, which would come to my mind. My father, mother, I remember when I was in school, I think in the sixth standard, and I remember some friend had tried to put me down, and there was some controversy with him. And my father and mother took me in their corner and said, "Oh, just anything happens, come and tell us the truth. Come and tell us what is the person bothering you about." Because that time, me being effeminate, girlish, a lot of people used to take advantage of me or whatever. So I remember anything that used to bother me, I used to go and speak. More than that, I used to go and speak to mom. And my mom always had a ready-made solution to it, or she used to make me think it so rationally that it started becoming very easy. Instead of being a difficult question mark, it started becoming like just fill in the blanks, and it just started being very smooth sailing. So I feel I never gave chance to failure because, like I started with nothing. I was not a filmy person. I'd never done movies before. Even makeup and had just done abroad, but here I'd done very little. But yes, I'd love to give you this very good example. I hope Parizad is listening. So Parizad Zorabian is the owner of Rustamji Developers and Zorabian Farms and whatever. And Parizad was an actress in the movie Joggers Park, and before that she'd done a lot of ads. So I remember I had the time when I used to work a lot with Malaika. I used to also do a lot of television for MTV Grind, Channel V, whatever. And there used to be a show on BBC called Style Check where we used to have Laila Ross, Namrata Barua. If you know Namrata Barua is also married to one billionaire. So Namrata Barua was the actor come model. So she, Pariza, are very good friends. So they all had taken part on this show called BBC Style, and I was doing hair and makeup for all three of them. And that time was relatively new. It was my second year in makeup or whatever. So my kit was not that. I mean, if I'm talking about 20 years back, I had like a small kit, but I had all the essentials and all the fantastic product because I had come from America, so I had every brand you name it. Nobody even knew of what it was in Bombay. But when she came to me, and the look was very simple. The whole BBC style check was just parading in our fashion designers' clothes and with very super fresh natural makeup. And she was very impressed that Baba had done that job. Cut to there's a production house called Equinox Film, who is Mr. Ram Madhwan. He did just now Sushmita Sen's movie. He did Sonam Kapoor, that Nirjam movie, whatever. So he also does a lot of advertising, and he used to work with me non-stop. In fact, he was the one who directed Aishwarya's Coke commercial with me as well, and my first Lakme campaign with Katrina Kaif. So I remember Ram called me and said that Ojas, we're doing the Asmi campaign. If you've seen Asmi jewelry campaign, it used to be a black and white campaign with Prabhuda, who's a photographer. He's no more. Unfortunately, Prabhuda is dead now. But he used to be the only photographer to do lovely hoardings in black and white, and he used to light up jewelry like magic. And Parisad was the brand ambassador for that. And she asked Ram that, listen to me, I worked with Ojas like 4 years back in BBC Stand. She was relatively new. So do you think she's good enough to do makeup and hair for me in this ad? And Ram said, excuse me, like you don't know the power of Ojas. She has done Coca-Cola with Aishwarya. If she can do something with Aishwarya Rai and she's never uttered the word of a trial, then who the hell are you? And she got a reality check. So you won't believe Parizad when Ram told us, she called me up and she cried. And till today we laugh about it. If you see on YouTube, there's a show called Mehuna on Zoom, which was again a celebrity chat show with Parizad and me, where Risha, Malaika, Deepika will talk about me. So she said that on television that time that I doubted Ojas for the first time. And she called me saying, Ojas, I'm so sorry. She started crying that Ojas, I didn't know that you've grown so much and you're so good. But had I bothered that, or had I felt, oh, this is my failure, how could she think about me like that? It would never make our relation great. But after that incident, I did her Ask Me campaign that I did with ad film wala. Kunal Kapoor is Shashi Kapoor's son. He also does a lot of ads. So we did a very big Coca-Cola campaign with Parizad again for a UK brand, London. So that time again we worked. So after that, she's always constantly been my well-wisher. Too, today she's also a YPO member. And thanks to her, we did a YPO masterclass at Rustamji in Bandra. We did a YPO masterclass in Pune, in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Delhi. So it was all because of my good bonding with her. But had I held a grudge that, oh, she asked me for a trial or she doubted once my work, it would have resulted into a chaos. So I feel never underestimate anybody's power, or also never put somebody down just because they may have doubted your skills, because everybody has a right to think what they want. And yes, once you prove it to them, or once you're humble about it, like I said, your humility or your being down to earth or grounded will automatically understand. But if you back answer and argue and things, then it goes into chaos and then things never fall in place. So I always feel if you handle situations, there is never a failure. And like I always feel, the sun is going to go down again, the sun is going to come up. The sun, like I always talk about. So I think when you go with that motto in life, nothing will ever bother you. And like I said, I've done television, I've done music videos. When music videos was a big rage, I've done, even recently I've done the Donald Bish, the Patli Kamar, which was like had millions of views on YouTube. So I've done every genre of hair and makeup, be it Bollywood, Tollywood for that matter, be it Star Plus. Me, I've done the makeover. If you remember, Smriti Irani used to come in some Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. I've done her makeover for that with Ekta Kapoor. I've done even that Parvati Bhabhi used to come in that serial called Gar Gar Ki Kahani, something like that, where they show the housewife and the hardly she becomes this corporate diva. So again, Ekta Kapoor called me to do her makeup as well. I've done more than 3 seasons of Nach Bali again for all the possible television actors, guys and girls. So again, I think they were very impressed because I was super confident. I knew I could handle. Like I love pressures. I mean, I'm one person who likes that. Oh, jaldi karna, ye karna, itne sare log ko tayar karna, ye wo. When I have that pressure, I'm even more buzzing, laughing, having fun. Like again, Farida's in my Beyond Bollywood movie. She's talking about me. I'm on Zoom, mein hu na, that we were doing this commercial in London, and I'm alone, me and my assistant called Sanjay. And I was doing hair and makeup, and it's 3:30 a.m. is a makeup call. Imagine makeup call at 3:30 a.m. and your Parisa with a shawl and she's sleepy and all. She's saying all this on live if you see it. And me, when I'm doing makeup, I'm singing sharara, 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 sharara. So she's thinking, oh, what is wrong with you? What have you eaten that you're already up and awake and you're so buzzing with energy? But I am like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I put myself into that motto, into that whole mood, into that grind that you start enjoying. Otherwise, if you wake up and say, oh, thak raha hai, neend aa raha hai, then that whole day will go very grumpy, very irritable, very. So you are responsible of what you can do. I feel definitely we are responsible for how our thought process, how our physical attribution towards our body, towards the mind, body, soul, towards the work it is. If you feel that wow, I'm going to enjoy, oh wow, tomorrow's a song, I'm doing a Jacqueline song. So I used to always thrive. Oh wow, tomorrow I have a song with Jacqueline, tomorrow I have this shoot with Priyanka. So that gives me that super excitement. If you've seen again, recently I put up my Pepsi cappuccino ad with Kareena Kapoor and Priyanka. Now there were two girls and a boy in that ad. If you've seen, they both kissed that guy and all. But that was a lot of pressure because it was a 3-day campaign with Farah Khan. Again, Farah is very particular about time. And that very night, the 3-day campaign shoot gets over. In the night, me and Priyanka and Urmila were going for a world tour. We do a lot of world tours also with actresses. I've done more than 12 world tours with Sushmita, Aishwarya, Katrina, Deepika, Urmila. I think with Aishwarya I've gone 3 times. With Sushmita I've gone twice. I think I've done so many world tours, which really makes you fast because when you do these shows, there's not enough time. Nobody gonna say, oh, aram se karo, aram se. Everything has to be fatafat in one hour. Hair, makeup, come, what may has to happen bang on and it will look good. Because when you do Bollywood, that is the best practice session that no actor is going to sit on the chair for 4 hours to do hair and makeup. They all want everything fatafat. Plus, the producers also checking it. Aditya, the producer, always says, Ojas, it's time, come on the set, come on the set. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's time is money. So when you're there with that whole shebang, when you're active, I think when your mind is active, your body is active, you start enjoying the pressure and always love the pressure. When you have that pressure, the ability to do is always good. And I love challenges. I love, pressures to travel here, travel like while talking to you right now. So I'm packing my bag because I'm going on Monday night to Hyderabad for an event for 4 days. And tomorrow morning I have a master class. I have a small shoot in the afternoon. But I love those things. I love multitasking. I love doing all that. I come back on Friday from Hyderabad. Again, Saturday, Sunday, I have a shoot with Ram Birwani. Again, Monday, I go to Kolkata for another event. From Kolkata, I go to Kathmandu. I come back on the 8th straight. But I love these pressures. And again, I'll give an example. Now, I was supposed to actually go from Kolkata to Turkey, but Turkey is not allowing right now. So the wedding is happening in Kathmandu. So the Kathmandu doesn't have a direct flight. So apparently now I go from Calcutta to Bagdogra, and from Bagdogra, it's an 8-hour drive to Kathmandu. But I did not tell the bride, oh, I can't handle it. Before me asking her, she said, don't worry, I'm sending you a high-end car, Mercedes hatchback, so you have no problem at all. So I guess when you go with that flow and that positivity, they will go extra miles for you. They'll make sure you're more than comfortable because even they are human beings and they think like you. But if you're all the time grumbling and criticizing and being nasty, the bride says, oh, go fuck yourself. I don't want you. I'd rather book somebody else. So when you're accommodating, I'm not saying be a bed rug or a doormat, but I always feel be open, have an open mind, understand. And if you have to prove a point, just say, excuse me, I'd like to say this, Aditya, this is what I'm trying to correct. This is not the way. Yes, that's the way of saying. But if you're going to bang on, argue, grumpy or miserable, it's just fireworks. And then there's no end to fireworks, I feel. So
that's really so humbling that how you are able to take care of yourself and the people around you and how you are able to ground the other people also.
And yes, tomorrow I'm going to go grocery shopping also for 4 days because like I said, I have a Ford, people live in staff, but I don't allow them to go down because I'm worried about them going down. So I will tell my driver, make a whole list of what they want for the 4 days so that they don't need anything. So
Wow.
again, that I multitask, but I enjoy it. Like I said, it just makes me feel right. So a lot of time people ask, "Oh my God, you're such a celebrity star, but you'll go to the supermarket." I said, "Yes, I'll go to the supermarket. That doesn't bother me." And when I go to
Hmm.
supermarket, so many times, just the other day I went to town hall. I met Sonali Vendra, I met Neelam Kothari, I met Jacqueline there. So it's not that nobody does that. Everybody does that. And घर का काम करने में कोई शर्म नहीं आए, because I've lived in America for 6.5 years. I used to even do mopping and washing the toilets in my own house. And till date, I think if you are going to be like that, that's fantastic because it keeps you independent and you're not dependent on every Tom, Dick, and Harry for your hard work. I think just do not all the time fly high, be grounded, be humble, and go with the flow of life.
Wow. And there are so many compliments out here. Uh,
Thank you.
I'll just read few. Supriya has mentioned, it seems I need to be more productive after hearing your busy schedule. I'm getting exhausted for no reason, maybe. Supriya is an image consultant and she's like, kudos to you. And then Shavik is saying, absolutely, ma'am, pressure does bring the best out of us. If we are loving the work we are doing, we are positive about ourselves. Lovely experience of your life to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
really
And with the image consultant, I'd love to do a shoot with you, darling. So if you're from Bombay, we must meet up at my academy because we do a lot of collaboration shoots, so we can really, really do wonders.
great, Supriya. So do connect. Now,
Is she from
Ojas, just
Bombay?
the
Supriya's from Bombay?
she's from Delhi. She's from Delhi.
Oh,
So she
great.
would be connecting
Soon,
with you.
soon.
So the last thing and the final segment I would like to share on the screen is your Instagram handle and your website so that people can follow you and they can learn about you. So with your permission, Ojas, may I?
Please, please, please.
Okay, okay. So Vatsal has a personal question before I'm sharing it on the screen. What kind
Sure.
of food do you like?
Okay, Vatsal, I'm pure vegetarian, but I like all kinds of food, be it Gujarati, Chinese, Maharashtrian, Spanish. I love everything. I'm not fussy. I'm a foodie. I love food. So I think all kinds of cuisines are fine, but I'm pure vegetarian.
Great, great. So, Ojas, I'm just sharing your Instagram, and for all the people you are seeing Ojas Instagram, her handle uh, and her work, you can see the kind of work Ojas has done. It's simply amazing. Don't forget to follow Ojas. You will get a lot of detail about Ojas' upcoming masterclass, where Ojas personally guides people aspiring professional makeup artists, and you can see a lot of bridal and celebrity makeup, which Ojas has personally done on your screen. So that is amazing. Let's go to the top of the page and I'll again show you. This is Ojas verified Instagram page. And as you would see, Ojas handle, we'll just type it in the chat. Don't forget to follow Ojas, like her work. And Ojas, where can people find about your upcoming classes?
Okay, so I always advertise on my Instagram. But again,
Mhm.
they can DM me, WhatsApp me. My WhatsApp number is there on my Instagram. My email address is there on that. And even they can call
Mhm.
that number as well if they need to talk to me. But I always perpetually announce my next course happening. And also, I think, again, my new batch is going to start on the 2nd of August because this batch will finish by 20th July. So then I take a 10-day break and then again I start with a new batch. So I keep on doing every 1.5 months short, I do a masterclass, kind of a professional hair and makeup course. I also do smaller courses for people who are corporate women who do not want to become a makeup artist but want to learn for themselves, or for personal grooming, or for housewives, or for college going girls who just want to kind of be a diva or a fashionista. Or some people want to just get to know their own faces, so then we do a 4-day class with them as well. Or for brides to be who want to kind of get to do their own skin and understand what would work for them, what would not work for them. So we keep on having these kind of classes. I also do a lot of online courses. In fact, I'm going to be starting again this month end a 3-day special online course, which I'm going to be advertising from Tuesday about it. And I basically have my academy in Mumbai at Bandra West. And I do a lot of corporate grooming. I do a lot of fashion styling. I even help people for personality development and confidence, because I know a lot of mothers come to me with their kids saying that, just she or he lacks a little confidence. Can you boost their energy, make them talk? Because sometimes when you speak it all out, your grievances, your doubts, your insecurities just come out when you talk. So I feel we even guide, help people, or sometimes people don't know about how to boost their career. Like today, somebody may be a great brainy with science, but somebody may not be studying well, but he wants to do football, he wants to pursue modeling, or he wants to pursue acting. So again, the parents come with me and I guide them as to, darling, this is the way you go about it. I tell them the pros and cons, and I tell them to even balance their career out, because you cannot today, you cannot only survive on one thing. You have to be doing two, three things together to balance it all out and be focused. I think that's really what matters.
Amazing, amazing. And Ojas, from the bottom of my heart, I would really like to thank you. The last hour has been so enriching, just listening to you, where you are sharing your pearls of wisdom. And it's really, the YouTube comments are just flowing in. People are throwing in so much heart and love. I'm really in gratitude. I don't have words
Thank
to
you,
express it.
Coach Aditya, for having me. It was truly a pleasure, because you yourself are so motivational. You're so inspiring yourself. And what I love about you that you tell everybody, be it me or any of the other members, you've been so kind of physically involved into getting them to speak out and to have relationships, which is so important. I think that's really nice, because I think one thing what I've learned from you is you need to give also. You cannot only always want. So I think again to the audience, I'd love to say this, that when you learn to give, you get even more, like, so I always feel whether it's knowledge or whether it's relationships, love, caring, whatever it means, but the more you give is the more you get. And always remember one success motto in life: whatever is meant for you will come to you, come what may, because I know I've been doing this for 23 years. Yes, sometimes the mind does play games, or sometimes we do feel insecure, because that's human nature. But always remember, whatever is meant for you will always come to you. I've gone through so many challenges, which I could have even shared more. But I always feel that so many times when you've thought about it or you want something to happen, it will happen come what may, which we call in our Buddhist chanting victory. That if you really focus on your victory and on your, decision and on your kind of target, that this is what my target is, it will happen. And it's not that somebody's going to snatch away your work. Like a lot of times, we complain, oh, she snatched away my work, or he snatched away my work. Yeah, because I think if that, and I don't even believe in all this nonsense where people say she did this and she did that, or khali buttering up ke kaam milta hai. That means there are so many actors who go for Karan Johar's party, but that doesn't mean they become signed heroines for Karan Johar, right? So I guess what was meant for Katrina, she got what meant for Isha. So I guess everybody's got, like life is a big drama. Our part is already written. We're just acting and enjoying the drama. And that's what when you do, the drama is going to be even more fun, even more colorful, and more than what you've imagined. So I feel when you go with that, life is just one smooth sailing boat.
Amazing, amazing. Kudos. And Ojas, it has been a wonderful evening hosting you. And with that, I would like to take your permission to wrap up our segment.
Definitely, my darling. Thank you so much. And thanks to all of the audience and everybody who's been part of this wonderful journey. And thanks to you, Aditya, for really having me around. Yeah. God bless you. And wish each one of you all the very best, and keep inspiring others and be super happy.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, see you next time, same place, same channel, and we are going to be back soon.